Hello, everyone. My name is Curtis Allen. I'm part of Miss Amanda's Green's Career Life and Planning Counseling class, and this is currently my second semester of attending Sloan Community College. Um, it's still my first year, uh, headed to second semester, and this right here is my poster. It's right here. And first, I want to talk about my majors, which is computer science and criminal justice, and how it correlates to me being a video game programmer and a forensic analysis. So, computer science and is something I really, really want to major in because I just find it um, very fun to make applications and programs for users who are in need of like quick and easy answers. Like if they like need a calculator or like a translator, I'm able to create that, make that. I'm working my way up to creating a harder and more difficult applications and programs like video games, for example, which are very hard. You have to create different items and program them and function so they can function properly, so that the user will find it fun to use and uh, very helpful to use while they're playing the video game. Um, Computer science is just it's a really um, it is difficult. Computer science is difficult, but it's something it's understandable for me. Like I know I have to take harder courses or later on, but it's you know creating programs is just very fun to me, and coding as well, and learning different programming languages as well. Um, for my major, which was my first major that I was really interested in getting into, was criminal justice and being a forensic analyst. Um, Learning, or the reason why I like uh, criminal justice at first was because I was really into that sort of stuff of getting to law and learning about how to solve crimes and such, and it was very interesting. And being a forensic analysis and uh, learning how to like reconstruct victims' heads and to learn how to solve crimes was pretty interesting. It's something I really wanted to do, and you know, go within that major and go to classes that basically go along with that major, and but I just didn't really wanted to go through all those courses because I'm a very emotional guy, and I just didn't see myself being in like any of the like law enforcement or forensic being in the forensic field, and that's why I diverted to computer science, because I just find it very fun to make programs, and I just find it as being helpful. I mean, even though criminal justice is helpful, I just find it very fun and creating programs and coding and using like try-parse methods and such. And I don't want to really get into that, but um, my true colors right here, which are green. They look like controllers. Sorry. Let's you see that. Green and gold. So first I want to talk about green. Green is or the reason why I had green is because I'm a perfectionist. Um, I'm very calm when it comes to situations or an issue, and rational as well. Um, I'm also detail oriented as well. Because like whenever I'm in a situation and if I'm like creating a program and there's something wrong with the program, if there's like a little teeny tiny issue with the program, I'm mostly focusing on that little problem the whole time, where I'm not moving into the next program. So it'll result into me like, probably like missing out on the next program where I have to do. Um as for being calm, I'm really calm. Um I like to analyze the problem to an extent to where I know what to do and know how to solve it. And making me in that calm state will make me identify what the issue is, and I'll figure out how to solve it and such. Um, being a being rational will sometimes like if I analyze, or not like analyze, but if I like um somewhat formulate a plan and that doesn't correlate with somebody else, then I try to um make the plan somewhat similar to theirs, so we'll both have two almost identical plans, and where they can both function the same way as each other. And it's just very weird, but that's how I'm usually am. um as for the gold, which is one of my true colors right here. um I know that they are or as the reason why I picked true colors, which was gold, or why I'm gold, is because I'm very judgy at the same time, because like when somebody else is like makes a program that's similar to mine, I'm somewhat tries to I try to find a way on how it doesn't really look like mine, and how they need to fix this in order to make it look better. Because like I said, I am a perfectionist, and so I am it makes sense to the reason why I'm judgy as well. And yeah. And also um the reason why I am gold is because I might also add a little extra something towards the program to make it look better and more what's the word, more so that like the function can be more consistent with the example of the program. And yeah. um as for planning, which is right here, or as for the skills, which is right here, which is, if you can see that, if you can focus, planning, and then you got, there we go, planning, organizing, and then using technology, and then ask questions and facing new situations. First, planning. I what I do is I formulate a plan so that I know what I have to exactly do. And if I ever come like face to face with the issue, like it's, or like I know what to do, like whenever I come face to face with the issue, this helps me solve the problem more quickly. And than me like trying to figure out like right as I'm trying to solve it. I find a method that's more comfortable to me, and because I know what to expect afterwards, um, or after I executed the plan that I made. Uh, there are times where, like I said, my plans are like different than others, but it does get the job done, and I don't judge anybody with their plans. I think everybody has great plans, but sometimes I just mostly focus on my plan. And yeah, sometimes I'm very solo, or like I'm very like independent, but I'm trying to work with others. So because being a video game programmer, you have to be it is team oriented to make a video game, and it's not very simple to make a game by yourself. And make a AAA game that's consistent with all the other franchise games that are out there, and it's very difficult. So I have to work with a team, and I'm starting to learn that now. As for organizing, I have a tendency to organize my items and such. It just makes it more easier than trying to find like one specific item, and I'm like it'll be like a waste of time of me trying to find a one item, and especially if it's something I desperately need. Yeah, it's very time consuming. It's very time consuming when I'm just trying to find one item. As for using technology, knowing how to like operate different technologies is going to be very useful, especially with working with advanced technology. New jobs are looking for that. They're looking for someone who can use a specific type of technology, because in the workforce nowadays everything's becoming digitalized. So in the workforce they have like different computers where they're trying to look for programmers who know how to function a type of technology. So they're looking for people. So I mean, this opens up my skill of using technology, opens up a lot of opportunities for me, especially with different jobs out there in the workforce. And yeah, as for asking questions, which is also a good way, and it's also a good way of formulating a method as well of asking questions. Sometimes I ask a question before I ever execute a plan, because I want to find out what's the issue, so I know, so I can so they can just basically clarify the whole issue about what's going on. And that's why I have just a tendency just to ask questions. It's a good skill to have, especially if I'm acquiring knowledge, and especially if something I don't know, and now if I do know, I know what to do next. And, yeah. Facing new situations is a good skill to have. I'll focus on like challenges and something I never done before, and if I completed the challenge, it'll boost up my confidence level. There are different careers that I can apply to, and each job is different. They come with benefits, and something which I really look for, and it can really help me along the way. Challenging myself is something also I can really enjoy as well. It's just something I really enjoy, and it just, like I said, making video games that have to be competitive is something I really want to do. And as for interest, which is conventional and investigate, and social, just right here. Conventional, investigate, and social. So the reason why I'm conventional, or I was in the category of being conventional, is because these are individuals who are like very organized and who are very careful as well. And like I said, I'm very cautious about, especially if I'm trying to solve an issue. I'm very cautious. I want to know before I do something, and it's a good skill to have. And I fall under that category, which is conventional. Someone who falls under this work is like for people who are like working on like a computing device, And like I said, I mean, programming, you have to different computers, comes with different programs, and so that's the reason why it just correlates with me working or being a video game programmer, and it was able to it was very accurate correlation between me being a video game programmer and one of my interests is conventional, or me falling under the category of being conventional. Investigate. These are people who are very analytical, like me. I really want to find out um, uh, a solution to the problem, and I'm very cautious, and it's also part of being cautious as well as investigating. But they are independent, so I don't know how that's a good correlation of me being a video game programmer, because being a video game programmer, you really have to take the take the initiative of the entire team. Making a video game is very hard to do. It's very hard to do. Um, Especially if video games were made to function as of like being competitive, and you know that there's different aspects and concepts of just making video games. You really need a team to make a video game, and I just don't know how that correlated with being investigated, but it is being analytical. So there was some correlation between being a video game programmer and one of my interests, which is me falling under the category of being an investigate. Social. I'm very helpful. I know that falls under me being very helpful. Because and friendly and cooperative. I am very friendly and loyal as well. So if someone needs help and they don't know what to do, I'm willing to help them. Especially if they're working on a program or application or anything, I'm willing to help them. I'm very helpful, and yeah. As for my values, which are accomplishment, integrity, and creativity, and comfort, and recognition. Uh, Accomplishment. Um. Hmm. I mean, I'm really um. What I'm really like if I complete something, because I know if that falls under accomplishment, it gives me a confidence boost. It makes me think that I can complete anything. Um, like if I did something like that's like completely right, it like I said, it'll give me that confidence boost. Um, it just makes me think that the possibilities are endless, especially when it comes to programming. It's like if I complete like a difficult program, as for example, the boat race I did last semester, in fall semester, which was part of my, or which was a program I had to do for intro to computer science class. It was very difficult, but I was able to complete it and program it and debug it and to make it function well. And I also did a little extra as well, because this is part of me being detail oriented. I put like different font colors and such, and to make it look really really nice. And my teacher liked that. Um, Integrity. Uh, I'm completely honest. If I'm ever questioned about anything, um, I really don't like to lie. Uh, um, um, like if it was like something like if I'm like completely honest, it'll make me trustworthy with other people as well, and it'll make me uh function well with other people as well. And especially if we're working on a program and they want to know if I did this program right and how I did during the last program I made, it'll and I give them like a trustworthy answer, they'll basically we'll be like become friends, and we'll uh you know have that sort of relationship to as of working very well with each other, and we'll complete programs like like nonstop. And I know it may sound like me just saying programs and such, but if I'm very trustworthy, I can work with other people, and it will just go along very well. Creativity. Um, I always wanted to do things differently, and I start to lose interest if something like very similar to mine's. Like if I'm working on an application and it's very similar to mine's, or if I'm completing a project and it's very similar to mine's, I just sort of I don't know, because sometimes I'm very judgy as well. So um, I tried to find some way to make it think like it's not very similar to mine's. This is a very crucial value to have because I'm trying to be creative. I'm not very creative um at all, but being I know that being a video game programmer, you have to be very creative, you know. But if when I go through these courses, which I'm gonna take throughout throughout the next semesters, I hopefully I'm be able to be very creative and make video games that gamers have never witnessed or played on before, and try to develop a new competitive game that's very unique and that's very different than all the others that are now. Comfort. I always want to uh I always like working on a comfortable environment, like because if I'm like doing work while under pressure, I'm gonna have a tendency of making mistakes, uh which is something I really try to avoid. um I don't know, I just sometimes I can't really work in any work environment because it's just I don't know, I just feel comfortable and I feel very nervous, and it's something I'm trying to be comfortable by just going out there and meeting new people and seeing if they have something similar to me, or if they have any attributes that are like similar to mine, then we can both go along, and maybe I will be comfortable, but I'm just trying to get out there and work with uh people I never worked before, but we'll get along eventually. Recognition is something I really want to hopefully be recognized of uh video games that I made over the years, and people recognize me as being that programmer who made that um, that game that was very successful. And then that opened a lot more opportunities for me, especially in the workforce. If they knew me as making this program that was very successful, or making this game that was very successful, then yeah, it would just open a lot of opportunities for me, and I'll probably be hired by different video game companies, like because there's like video game companies I know, which are like Infinity Ward and Treyarch. I really want to work in Treyarch. They made like very competitive video games out there, but Infinity Ward also made competitive games as well. So if one job doesn't work, isn't if I don't feel comfortable with that job, then I'll move to a different video game company. As for the MBTI, which is introversion, sensing, feeling, judging, and this is part of the Myers type indicator. Me, I'm very introversion, or not. I'm not introversion, but I am part of that. In the category of being introverted, because I'm very shy, and those are the type of people who are very shy, are very nervous, and me, I try not to be nervous, because I know that whenever I get nervous, I have a tendency of making mistakes. Um, what else? It's also like it's also part of being cautious as well, I mean, like if I always think like a solution, or if I always think of like a solution towards any like situation that I might come across, and after I analyze the problem, for a quick second, to a point where I know what to do next, then it's just more easier like that. Um, and but then that's where I will be able to execute my plan. Um, for S, which is also the letter, which is sensing. Um, like if I feel like an item needs to be repaired, then I'll basically try to debug it and program it, because that's the only thing I know how to do, which is repairing an application and a program. And I just basically know how to debug it. And if I just sense something that doesn't feel right within a program, um, I'll basically try to rework the coding and such. Um, the next is feeling. I do have feelings towards others, especially if they're like feel sad, or if they're going through some things. I'll try to help them and try to identify what's wrong with them and see if I can come to a solution. That'll make them feel better. Um, Judging, which is the last one right here. Uh, I do judge a lot, and but it's something I try to avoid, because I know that you know everybody's everybody is different, and I just you know uh try to be nice, and um try to avoid being in a confrontation with other people, especially when it comes to judging. But nowadays I'm starting to move forward by giving them nice comments of how theirs are pretty good and such, and yeah, and so I'm starting not to be so judging and such. So there are some changes, uh, especially how through the courses I went through of this uh, spring semester, including Miss Amanda Green career life planning course. And yeah, this has been a excellent semester for me, especially with all you guys. And I'm very glad that I took this course, and it did help me, you know, identify what major I really want to go to, which is computer science. And yeah, so that's all. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, see you guys.